Okay, welcome everybody. We're here at Berkshire Yoga Dance and Fitness. My name is Rachael Plaine, and it is just after 9 on Wednesday, July 29th, and we're here for our gentle, moderate flow yoga class. Today I'm set up with 2 blocks behind me. You don't need anything, but if you have some blocks, they might be helpful. We're going to do a pose called revolved triangle, where it's a nice setup to have that extra height if you happen to have a block, but if not, don't worry about that. Today we're going to do some twisting, so we'll alleviate any tension or tenderness in your back, low back, middle back, upper back, through working through some rotation and just kind of getting really specific about our alignment with that rotation, so we're twisting safely. So you guys can come to your mats. Good morning, Mom. Good to see you. Okay, so come sit down and we will begin. So let me make sure I can see the mat. Okay, great. Here we are. So we'll begin with a seated centering and meditation today. You can bring your hands to your lap and just take some time to come into the space. So just feeling the legs, the knees, the tops of the legs, the thighs, and maybe finding that gentle rock forward and back or side to side, wiggling into your seat. And then with your hands on your lap, sit up nice and tall from your tail to your head. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. Take that twice more, big breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And one more time, deep breath. Let go. Good, you're going to breathe in through your nose. Just pause when you get to the top of the breath. As you exhale, round your back. You can breathe out through the nose or through open lips, tailbone under, navel towards spine, chin to chest. As you inhale, float forward on the sitting bones. Lift the belly, lift the chest, lift the throat and face. And exhale, round your back. Tuck your tail, scoop your belly, chin to chest. And one more time, inhale, open up. Exhale, release back. And on this inhale, lengthen the spine, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Do that a couple more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And then last time, big breath in. And exhale, release. Let your palms open up so it's the backs, the hands touching the lap. And as you breathe out, drop your chin, hold to your heavy head, relax your face. Take a deep in breath. And full out breath. On your next inhale, bring the right ear over to the right shoulder, open up the left side of the neck. And as you exhale, let the chin come back to your chest. Come the other way, other ear to shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And one more time to the other side, ear to shoulder. Back through center. And then last time on the opposite side. And back through center. Let your head lift up. You can keep your eyes closed and you'll breathe out where you are. Keep your steady breath in and out through the nose. And start to become aware of your alignment and your posture. Feel your legs and sitting bones and tailbone rooted towards the ground. Noticing the pelvis and the hips, allow there to be a natural curve in the lumbar spine and the low back. So you feel the pubic bone drop down between the legs. And there's just that natural arch or curve in the low back without forcing that to be flat or tucking the pelvis, finding that natural curve. And then reach the crown of the head a little higher so the ribs float up off the hip points. The shoulders relax away from the ears, and the chest and collarbones and heart are broad, wide, and open. Crown of the head stretching a little higher. Forehead and eyes and jaw soften. Find that 3-part breath, breathing into the lowest part of the belly, the middle portion of the ribs, and the upper section of the heart. Exhale, releasing the chest, the ribs, and the lower belly. Continue that breath. As you sit here, taking this moment to drop into the space, to connect to your breath, to connect to your own heart, and to connect to spirit or something greater than yourself. Taking this moment to find peace and presence and grace. Letting go of anything that happened before you arrived and anything that may or may not happen when this practice ends. And then the next time that you breathe in, let your hands come together in a prayer position, Anjali Mudra. Let the palms meet in front of the heart. And as you exhale, bow your head to yourself and perhaps form an intention for today if you'd like, whatever you want to invite into your practice or to the day ahead. As you breathe in, slide your hands to the ceiling, lengthen the arms, lift the face, maybe open the eyes. And exhale, separate the arms, bring your chin towards your chest, let your fingertips find the ground. And then do that one more time. Inhale a sun breath. Exhale, release. This time as we take our sun breath, we're going to hold at the top. So take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, release your right arm. And then stretch up and over towards the right, opening the left side of the waist and the ribs. Turn your face up if that feels okay. If not, turn your chin down. Take a few breaths here. As you breathe in, let that arm stretch up towards the ceiling. Lengthen your spine again. And then place your hand on your knee as you start to gently rotate into your first twist today. The right hand can come behind. Press down to the sitting bones to rise up through the head. Feel that natural curve or arch in the low back. And see if you could initiate the twist more from the lower back, the waistline of the left side, and then it travels up the spine towards the chest and the shoulders. The left hand on the thigh is helping to root and ground you, so you can sit up nice and tall and then rotate into that twist. Gazing to the side or over the back shoulder through open, soft eyes or closed eyes. Good. Inhale to unravel, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, place your hands back towards the ground. Interlace your fingers behind your back and open up your heart. Press the fists together, or the heels of the hands together, the backs of the shoulders together. Open the chest. Release the gaze, release the hands, roll the shoulders. Let's take one hip opener here. So planting your fingertips down onto the ground, lifting the heart to a heart opener. And if you wanted to, elevating the pelvis and the hips to open up the front of the body. And then go ahead and sit back down. We'll switch the cross of your legs. So put the other leg in front for Sukhasana, easy pose. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And you could always be sitting on something here, a bolster or a blanket. Exhale, release the left arm down, keep the right arm high. Rooting down into the left, fingertips lift up and over towards the left, opening the ribs and the waist, and then turn the face towards the ceiling. If it bothers the neck, you'll look down. Couple breaths. Good. Inhale to rise. As you exhale, nice easy twist. Place your right hand down on your left knee. Left fingers can move back slightly. Grow up taller. Feel that natural curve in the low back. Pubic bone dropping down, tailbone slightly back for a slight arch in the low back or the lumbar spine. Lift the head up high and then rotate from the low back, from the right hip and waistline, all the way up the spine towards the chest, looking to the side or over the back shoulder. So it's like that twist kind of starts low and it reaches all the way up the spine. It unravels all the way up. So you're rotating from base of tail to top of head. Good. Unravel, lift your arms to a sun breath. And as you exhale, place your fingertips behind, interlace your hands behind, drop your chin, and then press the fists down again, squeeze the backs of the shoulders again, open up the heart again, lift the throat and face again. As you exhale, release the gaze, release the hands, roll the shoulders, and take your hip opener. So you plant your fingertips down, lift the chest. That could be step one. If you want to lift the hips, elevate the hips, press the pelvis forward. And exhale, lower. Let's come to tabletop. So you could either come over your shins or unwind your legs. And then when you get to all fours, let's take our hip circles that you've done with me before, hands in front of your shoulders, and just begin to swing the hips around a few times in one direction. Good. And then when the hips come to the back, start to move the hips the other way. Good. Come into one child's pose so you can let the big toes touch. You could separate the knees, sink the hips back, extend the arms, let the forehead melt. Couple breaths there. If you'd like to bring this into a side stretch, just walk the hands over to the left as you dip the hips to the left and then lower the head again. Good. Walk your hands through center. Go the other way. Hands can come to the left. Hips can dip to the right. Feeling that stretch in the side waistline, the right hip, the ribs, the armpit. Good. Walk through center. Round forward through a cat to pause. Bring your wrists underneath your shoulders. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Big cat pose, rounded back from tail to head. Breathing out. And then inhale, lift the tailbone up, drop the belly, elevate the heart rate through the arm bones, look forward. Exhale, round your back, draw the navel up and in, drop the head, drop the tail. And inhale, belly drops, tail lifts, and heart comes forward. One more time like that. Exhale to curl your spine, round your back, tailbone down, navel up and in. And then release to cow. Lengthen from tail to head. We'll take one more twist here in all fours. Bring your left arm out to the side. Look up towards the ceiling. And then thread the needle halfway through. So soften the right elbow, dip the left shoulder. And then inhale, unwind. Lift the left arm out and up, look up. Exhale, bend the right elbow. Thread the left arm through, hover. And last time, inhale, lift. This time you're going to go all the way through, so take your time. Bring your left shoulder down. Bring your hips above your knees. Be on the outer edge of the head rather than the side of the face. And here you can keep the right hand down, or you could stretch it out like puppy, or you could lift it towards the ceiling. And if it's up at the ceiling, you could internally rotate it, flip the palm to the back, and then bend the elbow back a hand to hip, or fingers slide right into hip crease. Couple breaths wherever you chose to be. Good. If you have your arm bound behind your back, just lift it up. Everybody slide your right hand back to the mat near the shoulder. Press into your hand and unwind your body, left arm out and up. Exhale, release the hand. Let's go the other way. So the right arm sweeps out and up. You can lift up, look up. Exhale, thread halfway through. So just a little warm-up twist, dipping down. And then inhale, unravel, really warming up the upper back and the shoulders. Thread it through, halfway hover. And then last time, inhale left. Exhale, this time we go all the way through. The shoulder comes down, the hips even out. So notice if they're swaying to the left, pull them back above the knees. Outer edge of head rather than side of face. Left hand stays or stretches out like puppy, or rises up, or internally rotates. Elbow bends, back of hand to hip or hip crease. Couple breaths. Good. Arm that's bound behind, lift it up towards the ceiling again. Release your hand down to the mat. Press into your hand. Inhale, unravel all the way up to a counter twist. And release your hand towards the ground. Let's come into down dog or puppy if you'd rather. Hands walk a little further forward the shoulders if you're coming to dog. If you want to stay gentle in puppy, just stretch it out here. Otherwise, hands a little further forward of shoulders, toes curl under, and knees lift, hips press back. If you're in dog with me, take some time just to paddle out. Press through one heel, press through the other heel. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. Good job. And then you'll have the feet about hip width distance. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Soften the bend in the knees. Press the mat forward and away. Pull the hips back so you get that traction in your spine. Big stretch in the armpits, the side ribs, the back body. You could stay, or if you want to try out a twist here, we're going to widen our stance. So step your feet about as wide as the mat. So you're in a wide leg down dog. And let's walk our hands a little further back to take some weight off of our shoulders. So you're in a short, wide down dog. You could stay here or take a twist. The left hand can come across the body and take a hold of the outer edge of the right leg. And you kind of bend the elbow and draw the ribs, almost like they're going to come through that arm and look underneath. Job. Release the hand down. Switch sides, press into the left hand if you're going to take that twist. Right hand to outer edge of leg. You use the hand on the leg to help pull the ribs through. Rolling towards the left, looking under left arm. Good. Unravel. Let's walk our hands back towards our feet and hold here near the back of the mat. So we'll all meet together here. Feet are still as wide as the mat. Shake your head yes. And shake your head no. Let your head hang heavy, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, and round your back, rolling all the way up to the top. Arms dangle off the shoulders. And then up. Big breath, staying where you are, arms out and up. And as you exhale, hands glide through center line of the body, right to your heart center. Eyes can close, honoring any intention you might have created. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, release your arms. Stay here with the feet about as wide as the mat. Take the right arm out to the side and reach it up and over the left as the left hand glides down the left leg. You can look up. And then inhale, open the arm to T as the left arm slides alongside the body, all the way up the ribs and the side waist, all the way above the ear to look up. And then do that again. Open that arm, opposite arm slides alongside body, all the way through ribs, all the way above the head to look up. And last time, arm opens to T, opposite arm glides alongside body. Nice big stretch. And open the arm, release. Touch the thighs. Sit into a wide-legged Utkatasana with arms in front of the heart, in front of the chest. So like you're holding something in front of the heart. So you have some energy between the hands. And then lift that above the head if you can, diagonally. So it would look like this from the side. Your hips are sitting back as if you're going to sit into a chair. Long line from hips to fingertips. Hold here, deep breath. Release the arms alongside the body to come into a flat back like a tabletop. Arms are like wings right alongside the body. And then release the arms, stand up, wide-legged Tadasana or mountain pose. Exhale, bend the knees and swan dive. Inhale, lengthen the spine to a wide-legged Ardha Uttanasana. Half forward fold, hands slide up to shin bones. Pause there. So you're near the back of the mat most likely, or maybe the middle of your mat. Release your hands down. Walk your hands out all the way towards a plank pose. Wide-legged plank, shoulders above the wrist. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, set the knees down. Bring the big toes to touch. And sit back to a wide-kneed child. Arms could extend or palms press to prayer. Elbows could bend and forearms could pause here for a breath. And as you exhale, release the arms, extended child's pose. Roll through cat pose, knees come underneath hips. Undulate all the way forward so the thighs and the pubic bone and the hips and the belly and the chest come right down onto the ground. Press into the hands, lengthen your tail towards your heels, root the pubic bone and hip points down, lift the heart to cobra. And exhale, release down. We're going to take that a couple more times. It could be a baby cobra or a full cobra. This time as you press into cobra, you're going to do a little twist to the right. So pull the right shoulder back, look towards the right. Exhale, release to belly. Take that another time to the left. Inhale, lift to cobra, but rotate the left shoulder back. And exhale to belly. Good job. Press up and back to tabletop, all fours. Curl the toes under. Lift the knees, press the hips back to dog. Inhale, lift your heels. You're in a calf press. You could always rest in puppy or child. Exhale, drop the right heel, bend the left knee, look underneath the right arm. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, switch sides. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, both your heels drop. So your choice here, you could take little steps to forward fold, or if you want to stay with me, it's our gentle / moderate pace class. We're weaving in some things that might be a little more intermediate in nature. You could float the right leg up and step it through, or step it directly through. You don't have to float it up. Step the right leg up. Step the left leg up to meet it, or you were taking baby steps. Inhale, lengthen, hands to shin bones or fingertips to the mat. Exhale, deep fold. Let's soften our knees here. Bend your knees, reverse swan dive, flat back to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. Eyes can close. Deep breath in. And exhale, release your arms. Let's come into a standing flow here. So start with a sun breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bent knees, swan dive. Inhale, long, flat back, hands to shins or fingertips graze the ground. Exhale, deep fold. Step the right leg back to a low lunge. So I'm going to use my blocks here, but you don't have to. If you have them, you could put them on your mat right underneath the shoulders. Bend the back knee, lift the heart. I love this as a way to just warm up the legs. Inhale, lift the hips, straighten the legs, head to shin. So very familiar, maybe. Bend the knees, lift the heart. Exhale, lift the hips, straighten the legs, head to shin. One more time, just starting to flow with our breath. One breath per movement. Lift the hips. And then here, excuse me, come into a low lunge. So keep the front knee bent above the front ankle. Keep the back leg straight. Come high on the tips of your fingers. Press the head away from the heel. And then inhale to lift your arms to frame your head. So you're in your crescent lunge. You're going to stay there. I'm going to switch sides, so I'm going to show you something on the other side, but stay right where you are. So you have your left leg forward, the right leg back. You're in a crescent lunge. From here, interlace your fingers, release your pointer, point at the ceiling. You're going to slice the arms across your lap. So reach forward and down. Hold. This is step one. This might be plenty for you. If you want to go deeper, take a prayer twist. Press the palms together, bend the elbows, press the left elbow up, the right elbow down, and then rotate the rib cage and the sternum towards your thumb. And you could look up or look down. Take a deep breath. Exhale, release the gaze down, interlace your fingers, point at the ground. Slice your sword arms above the head. Straighten your front leg. Exhale, open up to a wide-legged stance. Excuse me, my back's gonna be to you for a moment, but I'm gonna switch. Toes forward, heels back, arms wide, so staying there. Wrists are right above your ankles. Take a deep breath, inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, swan dive forward to your wide-legged fold. On your next inhale, take one flat back, so come up onto the fingertips or bring your hands to your shin bones. And exhale to a deep fold. Good, holding here. Kind of like what we did in down dog, reach your right hand through to grab a hold of the left shin or ankle or outer edge of calf. Take your left fingertips a little forward, almost like a downward dog, but then kind of diagonally back and over towards your foot. Come on your tented fingertips. This is if you can reach the ground. If not, you could have your hand up on your leg or you could have a block. And then you're gonna hold this right leg and twist right around and kind of poke the left elbow up in the air. So you take a little twist here and hold. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, release, you can unravel. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we can start with the free arms. You're gonna take the right arm, if you can, and kind of reach it diagonally out. The left hand is gonna thread through, and then slide that right hand in a little bit so you can kind of poke the elbow up in the air. So you get up on these tented fingertips, you can poke the elbow up. If you can't reach the ground, grab a block, put something under your hand, or even bring your hand to the hip or the leg, whatever you can hold on to, and then start to rotate. Pick that elbow up, use your underneath arm, your left arm, to help kind of rotate the spine around. And hold. Good, take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, release, unravel. Let's bend our knees, bring your hands on top of your thighs, lengthen your spine. Send the head away from the tail, come all the way up. Good, big sun breath, inhale, lift. Exhale, arms open, shoulder height. Turn your left foot forward to warrior two, bend the front knee and hold. So from our warrior two, we're actually gonna set back up to warrior one. So you're gonna do this by dropping the back arm, wiggling the left foot out, and then pivoting on the ball of the back foot so you close your hips. So we're here in a lunge. Lift the arms up above the head. Release the arms to open your hips. From here, we're going to scooch our back leg up just a little bit so we can straighten both legs. So pitch the body forward, scooch the back leg up a little bit, come on the sole of your foot and straighten both legs. Preparing for a pyramid pose and eventually our revolved triangle. Feet are hip width, they're parallel. But then turn your back foot out ever so slightly and your heel in ever so slightly, and then re-square your hips. That back foot is just kind of kicking out a little bit just to give you a little more balance and stability. Lengthen your spine, and then hinge at the hip crease. Come up and over. Here's a really good spot to have your blocks. So you could have your blocks underneath your hands here if you want to keep a flat back. Or if you can reach the ground easily and you want to take a deeper fold, even if you can't reach the ground, you could come down to a deeper fold. You could bring your head to your shin. And there's a couple arm variations here. You could keep your hands underneath the shoulders. You could also reach the arms forwards. There's like a diagonal line from your hips to your fingertips. Or you could do the opposite of that. You could reach the hands back towards your back foot. Fingertips reach the back foot and palms flip down. So find something that feels good for you. Take a couple breaths. Good. From here, walk the hands back. You're going to lengthen your spine, and we're about to come into that revolved triangle. So I'm going to demonstrate it with a block, but you don't need a block. I'm going to put my right hand on the ground, or fingertips on the ground, or a hand on a block. It's right underneath the shoulder. Lengthen your spine, bring your left hand to your hip. This is option one, to stay. Option two, roll the left shoulder open. Head about in line with the hip. Option three, left arm lifts. And it might just come out to T, but if you could sweep it to the ceiling, sweep it to the ceiling. Hold there. So if you didn't have your block, you just have that hand on the ground. Good. Take a deep breath. Exhale, release the hand. Bend the front knee, wiggle the back leg a little further back. Let's drop the back knee first time through. Step the front leg back to meet the back leg in a modified knee down plank and lower through modified chaturanga. You're going to do 3 cobra pose. First one regular, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, twist towards the right. Look over the right shoulder. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, twist towards the left. Exhale, lower. And let's take a rest in child's. Press into the hands. Knees either hip width or they widen. Hips sink back. Arms could extend. They could come to prayer back by the head, or the arms could come alongside the body. Couple breaths. Good. Extend the arms. Shift forward to tabletop, all fours. Bring the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Just take a couple hip wags side to side, just to feel that outer edge of the hip. And we'll do the whole sequence on the other side. So bringing the hips right above the knees, curl the toes under. Either walk out to puppy or set up for dog. If you're in dog, inhale, calf press, heels lift. Exhale, left heel drops, right knee bends, looking to left arm. Inhale, lift. Exhale, switch. Good job. Inhale, lift. Exhale, both your heels drop. So just like we did on the other side, you have 3 choices. You're either going to take your little baby steps forward, or you're going to step the left leg and then the right leg, or you're going to float the left leg up to 3-legged dog. Step the left leg, and then step the right leg. Inhale, lengthen, flat back, hands to shins or fingertips touch the mat. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Eyes could close for a moment if you'd like. Come back to any intention you might have created, or just come back to a feeling of presence and peace. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, big sun breath. Exhale, swan dive, straight or bent legs. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana, stretch long. Exhale, deep fold. Left leg floats back to lunge. Hands on the ground or on your box, side of the front leg, front knee above the front ankle. Back knee softens, heart lifts, breathe in, look up. Exhale, lift the hips, straighten the legs, head to shin. Twice more, bend the knees. Inhale, float the heart up, look up. Exhale, lift the hips, head to shin. One last time, bend the knees. And inhale, lift the hips. Come to your high lunge or crescent lunge. So bend the front knee right above the front ankle. Come high on the fingertips. Pull the head away from the heel. Once you have your balance, inhale, float the arms out and up to frame the head, holding there. Or pressing hands to prayer, interlacing fingers. Holding here, or slicing the arms across the lap in that steeple pose with the hands. Holding here, or taking your prayer twist. You could always drop the back knee to modify. You can keep the gaze down to help your balance, or you could roll the gaze up. Big breath. Release the gaze, interlace your fingers, point, extend the arms, slice the arms above the head, pick the ribs up in the chest, straighten the front leg, and open up to a wide-legged stance. Toes forward, heels back. Hold that wide-legged stance. Take your sun breath, inhale to lift your arms, and exhale to swan dive. Good. From here, same thing. Extend the right arm to the right corner.
Slide the left arm through, catch the outer edge of the left leg, and then slide the right arm just back enough towards the body so you can poke the elbow up, bend the elbow, and then twist. Like you're gonna, almost like you're gonna crawl right underneath that like hole you're creating between the arm and the ground. Peeking through that. Poking up the elbow, using left hand on leg to find that twist. And you can let the hips come with you. So a lot of times I tell you to keep the hips square, but here it's okay if the left hip dips down a little bit. You want to initiate the twist again from the low back, from the left hip and waistline. So it's okay here to let the hips kind of move with you. Good. Unravel. Go the other way. So let's stretch the left arm out so there's some space. Bring the right arm through, catch the shin or the ankle, whatever you can hold on to, and then scooch the left hand back a little bit so you can poke your elbow up and kind of create that perched situation where you're going to draw the body through almost. You're going to hold the leg and then rotate and look underneath that space that you created. Modification, left hand could be on a prop. If you can't reach the ground, you could hold your hip. So it works for anybody, wherever you need to be. Take a breath. And exhale, unravel. Bend your knees. Bring your hands to the tops of the thighs. Press off the thighs to lengthen the spine. Take a big sun breath. Exhale, arms shoulder height. So just like we did on the other side, now you're going to turn the right leg forward. Bend the right knee, so we're back to a traditional warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. And this is a little different transition, so we have to kind of wiggle our feet to get in the right spot. So the left arm drops, wiggle your right foot out so you get a wider stance. And as you reach through, you're just going to close your hips and pluck the back heel up. So you bring your hips square to the front of the mat. Good. Lift your arms up, so you're back to a crescent lunge for just a moment. Deep breath in. And exhale, release the arms to the hips. We're about to scooch the back leg forward a few inches so we can land on the sole of the foot with straight legs. So pitch the torso forward for balance. Slide the left leg forward and come on the sole of your left foot. So now we're on both feet. Feet are parallel and hip width distance, and the back foot turns out ever so slightly for a pyramid pose. Natural curve in the low back, so not a sway back, but not a tucked pelvis either, just a natural curve. Hips square, tailbone long, head lifted. Deep breath in. And exhale, hinge at the hips like there's a bar across the hips, up and over that bar. And you could hold your flat back. You could release your hands to the ground or blocks. You could deepen your fold in pyramid pose. And then you could choose an arm variation. You could stretch the arms forward. You could reach the arms back, flip the palms, or keep the hands right underneath the shoulders on the ground or the blocks. Few breaths. Here you do want to try to square the hips. So pull that right thigh bone up and into the pelvis and hip socket. Drop the left hip slightly, trying to square those hips. Long back. Even if you're in the forward fold, get as long as you can. And then if you were in an arm variation, come back to neutral to frame the front foot, lengthen the spine, head in line with tailbone. Use props or blocks under the hands if you want to or need to. Press into the left fingertips, palm or block. Bring the right hand to the hip and then pull the head away from the tailbone again so you get really long. Option 1, you stay here. Option 2, you roll the shoulder open and start to drop the left shoulder down to twist. Option 3, the right arm could come out to T. Option 4, the right arm lifts to the ceiling. So find something that works for you. Couple breaths. Revolve triangle. This is a hard pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release the hand. Wiggle the back leg back, bend the front knee so you're in a lunge. So your choice here, you could drop the back knee and step back to a modified plank, or if you want something a little more vigorous or heat building in intensity, you could press into the hands, keep the knee lifted, and step back to plank. So holding plank or knee down plank. Press head away from heels. Take a deep breath. Exhale, lower chaturanga or modify. Inhale, just one cobra or an upward dog.
Exhale, release the knees and come back to child's again. Big toes could touch, knees could be wide or hip width, any arm variation that you like. Couple breaths. Good, extend the arms if they were folded back. Bring your hands back near the shoulders. Lengthen your spine or roll up to sit on your heels. Bring your knees hip width distance. Hold here. If this is uncomfortable to sit on your heels, just come into a high kneel because we're going to come to a twist from our kneeling position. So from where you are, either sitting on your heels or in your high kneel, let's drop our hips off to the right. So come up and over to the right with your hips. So now my right hip is on the ground, my left hip's kind of propped up a little. Good. And then if you can, you're going to take your left ankle, the outer ankle, and just kind of cross it on top of the other ankle. It looks like this. You're just kind of tucked on top there. Good. Hold. Get tall. And now from here we can find a twist. So the left hand can come to the right knee. The right hand can reach to the side or behind. And then you root down through that bottom hip and rise up to look towards the side or over the back shoulder. Shoulders down away from ears. Feel that twist from the low waistline and low back all the way up the middle back, the upper back, and the shoulders. Good, unravel. Let's switch sides. You can kind of walk the hands forward and just pick the hips up, unwind the ankles. Knees can come close together. Walk the hands over and dip the hips to the other side to sit. And same thing here. If it feels comfortable, you're going to take your outer ankle and kind of cross it on top of the bottom ankle or foot. Only if that feels good. If not, just keep them next to each other. Sit up tall as you can. Right hand to left knee. Lengthen, and then twist. Move the left hand back a little bit. Remember, you're twisting from the bottom of the spine, from the right low back and waistline, all the way up the middle back, the ribs, the heart, the chest, and then eventually the head. And even the eyes. So instead of looking out of the left eye, imagine you could look out of the right eye. So like just notice what that would be like to really get that deep twist. Good, let's unravel. Keep the hips where they are and just swing the legs around. Bring your feet as wide as your mat and take a couple windshield wipers. Good. Bring your knees up towards the ceiling. Wiggle your feet hip width, extend the left leg long. Take a hold of the right shin, find your sitting bones, and pause here. So we're going to take a kind of a different forward fold here. This is something I haven't practiced or taught in a while, but kind of just came to me when I was practicing this morning that I forgot about this pose. So you're going to bring your left hand out to the side. The right arm is going to come inside that bent leg, and you're going to internally rotate, so turn the thumb down. And this is a little funny. It might feel weird if you haven't done it before. You're going to reach towards me and then kind of wrap your arm around that leg. So it's internally rotated. You're bending your elbow and you're wrapping around. So for some of us, that might be it. And there might be no internal rotation. You might just try to tuck your shoulder and just grab your foot and hold here. Left leg comes to leg wherever it can, and you take a forward fold. You're trying to root the right hip down. For some of you, if it's accessible, you're going to roll, internally rotate, wrap around, and then eventually you'd bind. You take this left hand behind your back. Touch your back, or if you can grab your fingers, grab your fingers. It would look like this.
So I know that that's not going to be in the cards for many of us. If we had a strap, you could use your strap, or you just kind of hold on to whatever you can hold on to, or free up that left hand and grab your leg and take a forward fold. So whatever you can do here to take kind of this shoulder opener forward fold, couple breaths. Good, release, unravel. Let's take a hold of that shin, move your long leg in line with your belly button, cross the right leg over. So you've done this before, right? The right foot is planted, you're holding the right shin to sit up tall. You could keep the bottom leg long, or you could tuck the bottom leg in. So your choice, but you want to make sure both hips are down. Hold the shin, sit up tall, lift the right arm, same arm as bent leg. Twist towards your bent leg, gather it into the elbow crease, and take the long arm to the ground. Holding here, or elbow comes across the thigh, lengthen. And remember, you're having that natural curve in your low back. So trying to kind of drop the pubic bone down between the legs, feeling that natural arch or curve, initiating the twist from the lower back, the lower left waistline, all the way up to the head. Good, unravel. Before we get to the other side, let's take one hip opener. So your choice, you could come to cow face if you're here, lowering the knee, moving the heels away from your bottom. You could do half cow face if that leg was straight. You could do fire log, where you stack your shins. And scooch back a little so you can see. Or you could do cross legs with the right leg in front. So choose something, cow face, fire log, half cow face, or cross legs. Start by sitting up tall, and then if you'd like, hinge forward and take a forward fold. Hands could touch the legs or the ground. Few breaths. Good. Now lengthen your spine. Take them all the way up. Beautiful. Bring the hands behind you. Just unravel the legs, whatever position you're in. Take them nice and wide, and a couple windshield wipers before we take that twist, forward fold, hip opener on the other side. Knees come hip width, feet wiggle, hip width. Right leg extends. You can hold on to the left shin and sit up tall. You might want to move like your belly or your ribs kind of out of the way, because we're going to come inside that leg, so you can kind of lean back and just move any extra flesh out of the way so you can have some space here. And then like we did on the other side, this right hand can come to the ground to start to anchor you. The left arm's going to reach inside. You could just hold the leg. That would be a good option too, to take a forward fold there and hold the leg. I didn't mention that on the other side. If you want to try the bind, the left arm comes through, you internally rotate and kind of wrap around. If you can't wrap, just grab the foot. That would be step one. Or wrap and half bind. Or other arm reaches through, internally rotate. It comes behind your back. You pretend you have a strap, or you reach for your fingers. Flex the foot of the long leg and then fold. Good. Lengthen, unravel. Take a hold of the shin. Move the long leg in line with your belly button. Cross the bent leg on top. Option one, you stay here. Option two, fold the leg underneath and stay. Sit up tall. Lift same arm as bent leg. Rotate towards the bent leg. Gather it into the elbow crease. Top arm to the ground, or hook the elbow over the waist. Or that's not your waist. That's your lap or your thigh. Sit up tall, look to the side or over the back shoulder. A few breaths. unravel. Hip opener of your choice. You can move that leg across, take cow face, take half cow face, take fire log, or take cross legs with left leg in front. So you choose. Before you go into your fold, sit up tall. You don't have to fold. You could stay here and close the eyes for a couple breaths or a steady gaze. If you want to fold to get deeper into the hips, go ahead and fold up and over whichever shape that you chose. Good. Lengthen your spine. Come all the way back up. Let's unravel one more time. Feet as wide as the mat. Couple windshield wipers. Doing awesome. We're almost done. And then bring your knees up to the ceiling. Shuffle your feet to hip width. We're going to set up for one last pose on our mat. So we'll do one final twist and then we'll take Shavasana. So lift the arms up. Exhale, slowly lower. Tuck the tail, scoop the belly, come all the way down. And then extend your body long. Send the legs forward, send the arms behind you. Stretch out the waist, the tops of the thighs, the armpits, the ribs. Nice big stretch, full body stretch. Gather the knees up to the body, hold the knees or the shins, or wrap the arms around the legs and take a rock side to side. Good job. Bring your hands to your knees, circle the knees one way, circle the knees the other way. Quick twist here before we end and rest. Soles of feet to mat, knees up to ceiling, arms to T. Press into feet to shift your hips over to the left and set them back down. Then let your knees fall over to the right and stack and bring your left arm with you so you're laying on your side and your palms are clapping and your knees are in line with your hips and there's a 90-degree bend at the back of the knee. Hold here. And then start to twist here by sliding the left hand along the left arm across the chest, across the collarbones, and maybe opening it up. So your shoulder probably doesn't touch. We're going to keep our hips square and initiate this twist from the low back, right? If it's too much to hold that left arm out in space, like if the shoulder's so far away from the ground, bring your hand to your hip. That's a great option. You might even take this bottom arm and kind of reach the shoulder through a little more, kind of thread it through, pick it up, set it down, and then maybe try again, and maybe there's a little more space for the twist. But don't force anything. Just go nice and easy. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be deep. A few breaths. Good. Then from where you are, bring the head through center. You can bring the knees through center. Press into the feet. Shift the hips to neutral just for a moment to land and reset. And then we're going to do that on the other side. So press into the feet. Scooch your hips to the right edge of the mat and set them down. Let your inner thighs glue together. Bring your knees up and over to the left. And then let the right arm follow. So you're going to stack your palms. Knees in line with hips, 90-degree bend at the knee crease, the back of the knee. And then you could stay or start to drop the right shoulder by rolling onto the upper back. The left hand comes across the chest, all the way across the collarbones, all the way to open up. Head can turn away. Right hand could also come to hip because most likely that right shoulder is not down and we don't want to aggravate that or give it too much strain or pressure. You could press into like the back of the left hand and scooch the left shoulder under more, and then it could help you maybe drop the right shoulder. But the goal is not necessarily to get the right shoulder down, but it's to have good alignment in our hips today. Hold here, close your eyes. Relax. Good job. Move the head through center. Move the knees through center. Press into the feet. Shift the hips back and come on into rest. Extend one leg long. Extend the other leg long. Of course, any final stretches, movements, or adjustments you need, take them. We'll just be here for a moment together. Palms open. Eyes closed. Let your breath soften. Let your mind settle. And feel your whole body relax. Take a couple moments here in stillness and silence, enjoying the benefits and gifts of your practice, and taking in whatever you need from this morning. And staying where you are for as long as you'd like. Feel free to rest in Shavasana or begin to let your breath deepen. Begin to let your awareness come back. Perhaps inviting movement into the outer edges of the body, the fingers or the toes. Eventually coming to either side to find a fetal pose. Knees up towards belly, arms in towards chest. Head could rest on the arms. Just take a breath there or so. Good. Use the top arm to help press you up. Eyes could be closed or a soft gaze. Just be here for a moment. Take the backs of your hands to your lap. Open up the palms, sit up tall. From the bottom of the tail to the top of the head. Relax the shoulders, open your heart. Take a deep breath in. And full breath out. On your next in-breath, bring your hands together to prayer position or Anjali Mudra in front of the heart. And as you exhale, bow your head to yourself, and we'll end together on the sound of Om, the sound of community, to seal in our practice and intention, starting with our letting go breath. Deep breath in through nose. Exhale a sigh. We'll begin. Deep breath in. And as your head bows back to your heart, taking one last moment to honor the divinity and the light that shine within you. Namaste. Have a beautiful day. Have an awesome rest of your week. And I'll see you guys again real soon. If you're on me live right now, I'll hang out for a little bit if you want to share anything. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm just going to turn the recording off.